Good morning, good evening, good night, happy time zone, whatever time it may be for you. We're going to start today's episode number 8 of Elysian State in a live play. Coffee, nectar of goddesses. So, previous episode, we worked on the financial district. I do have the vanilla LOD settings set, so things are going to get funky. Don't worry. Game's not broken. It's just, you got to be smart with your LOD stuff. Anyway, today, what I wanted to do was get happy with this highway. And my thought was, we'll actually run it parallel with the grid of the financial district and then break the grid where our bedroom community might be. I think I want some of their industrial along this corridor, so this would probably be more beneficial for residential, some local commercial, some film studios, stuff like that. I'm not necessarily happy with this conglomeration, which, when we do this change, might really impact this. I'm thinking this just connects to the highway, and we do something different with this. It functions. It works great. I spent time on it. It just looks, a little more complicated than what maybe it really is. And I'm not necessarily concerned about the asymmetry. Just these little mug handles don't quite. I mean, I guess they work. This one looks like we sneezed when we were forming the mug handle. A mug handle. That's the technical term in the many Department of Transportation's things. It's the mug handle. I mean, it looks like a mug handle. In fact, I just drank out of a mug and it looks like a mug handle. So prove me wrong. I dare you. Anyway, I wanted to do that and get to some detailing down in this part, which, we're gonna do some detailing only in a future episode to rip up some of it to put in some mass transit options for our citizenry, because we're not vile, evil rulers of our community. But that said, let's begin. Okay, this is the scary part, so I paused it because we're about to wreck all kinds of traffic. I mean, this intersection is great, but, we could do it again. It's not too difficult. If you've done it once, you could do it again. That is sage advice from a college professor. What I do want, though, is I want to extend, so we have 2 blocks from our city hall. That might be the Capitol building. I haven't decided yet. Obviously, it's going to be flanked with parks, and then we'll have 2 blocks. God, I'm so indecisive. I thought about just making the highway go straight to that block, so you see it from the highway, and you're like, oh, that's where the government is. Man. Have you ever stood in a store trying to figure out whether you want to buy something? You're like, I know I need this, but I don't know if I need this. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe it'll only be 1 block. Just imagine being here for, like, civic pride events. Like, whatever sports team wins. And then the great question is, do I elevate it? Oh, decisions. So I went ahead and made a very temporary connection. I did kind of use a little bit of lane mathematics, except for this is going to be a cluster for drivers. And apparently I missed a spot here. But it'll suffice. We're going to put a lot of stress on this one single point. But I mean, if I unpause the game, it won't completely cut off their access. So the question is, elevated or sunken? Elevated or sunken? Whoops. Did you guys ever do that? Yeah, me too. Let's turn that off while we're at it. There. I don't think it needs to, if it's gonna be sunken, I don't think it needs to be as deep as it was. That, I think it ended up getting that deep because of that exit, that interchange back there. But that's 9. That is plenty. So if we extend this, that is plenty for bridges. Although it looks like I need to get these a little further. Huh. Oh, you know what? It's the type of connection that this is tall enough for traffic to fit just fine. In fact, you could go probably about 7 if you really need tight space to fit something in, but 9 is probably a decent standard. I think in the United States it's like 8.5 is the federal standard. Meters converted from feet, I think. But anyway, let's run with this. Alrighty, that was a lot of building of a highway, and I'm pretty confident I like this configuration a little bit better. Either straight, like this part will address, but so anyway, I'm happy with this. Not necessarily happy with this yet, but I'm happy with this, and welcome and thanks for attending my TED Talk. That said, we need to provide actual access to this highway, and originally there was one access here with a planned access here, but I think what we're going to end up doing is this will get reworked, not right now, but this interchange will get reworked to come into the service street. This will probably be an exit, and I was thinking this because it's central, but that's a lot of exits together. We don't want to be too close to this because this is going to change that, and if you ever have an exit so close to another exit, you end up backing up both exits because both exits slow down the flow of traffic. So then both exits compound the problem of slower traffic. We could do this one and then do an access here. I was also thinking that this surface street, we could give it a little bit of a bypass that kind of snakes through. So you have this choice, get on this service street or kind of like have an express route that then ties in to both of these. But that's a problem for future me to solve. We're gonna get on to the exits. So I was thinking, yeah, two intersections, two off ramps, two whatever, will certainly give us more access, but also slow down the highway. And then I thought, how about we add more lanes? But instead of adding more lanes, we add useful lanes in the form of a collector. So that's what we're going to do. All of that hard work paid off. I will let you guys enjoy these cinematics as we close out the episode. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes, and Patreon contributions. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And until next time, stay awesome, stay amazing.